In today's video, we'll be talking about the beauty and the importance of solving problem backward. But before we do that, let's first look at a puzzle. In the puzzle, you have to go through the maze, starting from the starting point and go to the end point. But during the process, you cannot make any left turns. So pause the video and see whether you can solve the problem within 1 minute. Well, if you have solved the puzzle, congratulations. But if you haven't, let's work out the puzzle together. If you start with the starting point, you may soon realize there are just too many paths to draw. But if you start with the end point and work it backward, you will find that you only have one way to work it out. So let's check it out. Now, if we try to work out the problem backward, you will find you must go through the upper left corner, this block here, because all the other ones will have to take left turns. And now you can just take step by step to construct the path. Now this little block over here might be a little bit tricky. You can place either a short arrow or a long arrow, but then you will soon realize the long arrow requires a left turn. So let's keep walking back one by one, and then you can construct a path like this one here, and that will lead you all the way to the starting point. And bingo, we solved the problem. Most of the time when we are given a problem, we like to work it out forward because this is the most intuitive way to do so. But then a lot of times this might not be the ideal solution, but rather working out the problem backwards can be a lot easier. So today we'll be talking about the beauty and the importance of solving problem backwards in the context of computer science, personal and organizational development. So let's look at problem first. And there is an empty space of n by 2, and you also have tiles of 1 by 2. Now, how many different ways you can fill in the empty space by the tiles? This might seem to be a very daunting task because it seems to be infinite number of ways to do so. But then, if you work out the problem backwards, you may find it actually solvable. So let's first give a definition. Suppose the number of ways to solve the problem for size of n is t by n. Now let's look at the very last tile. Now, if you look at very carefully, you will find there are only two different options for it. You can either place it vertically or horizontally. If you place it vertically, then even though you don't know how many different ways to solve the problem, now the number of ways to assemble such a pattern should be equal to t of n minus 1. Now, if you place the last tile horizontally, then because the last tile is taking 2 blocks, which means now the number of ways to do so must equal to t of n minus 2. So from here we go to a very important conclusion, that is the problem of n should equal to the sum of problem of n minus 1 and n minus 2. Now, did you see this pattern somewhere before? If you look at it carefully, you will find this actually is a Fibonacci sequence. So you can write a computer program to work out the solution iteratively. You can see it's really powerful to work out the problem backwards, and there is a class of problems in computer science called dynamic programming studying this type of work. And there are a couple more examples I left behind for you to explore. So the beauty of this is that even though you cannot find a solution for the whole problem right away, you can reduce the problem into smaller sizes and work it out from there. Now, you can apply this methodology to organizational and personal development as well. For example, for an organization, you may have a particular objective to reach. And a lot of times when you are designing the team structure to support it, working it forward might not be easy because you are doing the work surrounding the people. Instead, if you try to work out the problem backwards, it might be a lot more clear. starting with the business objective, and now you should be able to define different functionalities to support that. And for each of the functionality, then you can put a team to support this functionality. And once you map out the skill sets required for each of the positions, then you can plug in the people into the equation. And doing so will help to clarify a lot of things without losing sight of the business objective. The same method can work for personal development as well. A lot of times you have a particular goal to reach on your mind, but have no clue where to start. So you can start with your goal and then identify the qualifications you need to get there, and then work out a plan for that. For example, you might want to become a better public speaker, and for that you need to acquire some communication skills. There are probably 3 different categories: verbal communication, non-verbal communication, and speech delivery. For verbal communication, it's very important to articulate things really well. And also, you have to practice active listening to make sure you and your audience can understand each other. Toastmaster is probably a very good place to start with because they have very focused training and a feedback loop for you to work on that. For nonverbal communication, it's very important to use your body language to influence and engage with the audience. For that, you can probably record yourself in video camera to see whether you are applying proper body language. And lastly, for speech delivery, there are 2 aspects. One is structure. You have to create a well-structured talk to deliver the message effectively. And for that, you can probably create a storyline by writing things down, and that can clarify a lot of your thoughts. And the other aspect is content. Some of the complex topics can be very hard to explain. For that, you can probably explain them visually and graphically by using charts and graphics. So to wrap up, working out the problem backwards can help you to reduce the problem size into smaller ones, and also identify the right path to minimize wasted efforts. Thank you for watching the video today. I hope you have a good time.